It's my pleasure to have the opportunity to briefly introduce all of you to Mr. Rainey Hamilton Jr. Rainey Hamilton Jr. is a true Detroiter who has dedicated his career to rebuilding the economic and physical fabric of the city. His many award-winning projects that have contributed to the city's transformation include the Detroit School of Arts, Wayne County Port Authority Building, Belle Isle Master Plan, Wayne State Welcome Center, and Ford Field, just to name a few. And new projects include the proposed tower on the Hudson site, Little Caesars Arena, and a new housing development in Brush Park, again, just to name a few. Rainey is a proud graduate of Cass Tech. Not long after graduating from University of Detroit, 24 years ago, Rainey set out on his own to take up the challenge of not just creating great projects, but creating the legacy of a great firm, which also includes mentoring the next generation of leading architects. And I can tell you personally that many of our best students, when they graduate, aspire to work at Hamilton Anderson Associates. Today, the firm is a strong force in the community, having grown to more than 65 full-time employees. They have developed a reputation as one of the very best design firms in the state. And not surprisingly, at this particular moment in time, with so many major projects happening in the city, many of which are under his guidance, I am confident that all of us will look back on Rainey's legacy, which will forever be linked to Detroit's great comeback story. He is also actively engaged in the community, which includes his very generous support of the School of Architecture and his service to many other organizations, including the Michigan Board of Architects and the Michigan Board of Land Surveyors, the Detroit chapter of the American Institute of Architects, and the National Organization of Minority Architects. His service, honors, and many accolades are simply far too numerous to mention. I will mention, though, that in addition to transforming Detroit, you should know that his work has also touched many other communities around the state and the country, including Kalamazoo and Midland, East Lansing and Ann Arbor, New Orleans, Las Vegas, and the Washington, D.C. area. Would you please join me in congratulating and welcoming Rainey to the stage?
Good evening, everyone. One of the questions that I get all the time is, where did I go to school? And folks are expecting me to reply by the university in Southfield or the university in Ann Arbor. And when I tell them that it was the University of Detroit Mercy School of Architecture, they are surprised. I also tell them that I turned down or bypassed going to Harvard, University of Penn, as well as Penn State. I think it was the right decision, and I'm glad that I stayed here in Detroit. My passion, thank you. My passion for Detroit has never changed. As a person that was born and raised here, a graduate of Cass Tech, Detroit Public Schools, I felt that it was part of my duty, and I think that duty was encouraged by the Jesuit belief here, to give service to your community. So I am so happy that I'm receiving this award. I'm glad that I stayed here in the city. And I would like to thank a few people for what they've contributed to my life. First, I'd like to thank my former partner, Steve Vogel, who was Dean of the School of Architecture, David Shervish, who also is one of my professors and also one of my partners at Shervish Vogel Merz. I'd like to thank my family and my extended family, my fiancée, Rachel Johnson, my sister-in-law, Tamika, and my future brother-in-law and his wife, Les and Quayle, for their support and encouragement. I would like to dedicate this award to the memory of my mother, who encouraged me to go to school. She passed in 2004. I am the first person in our family to attend college. And I'd also like to dedicate this award to my brother. My younger brother passed in December after a 13-year fight with cancer. And I'd like to last dedicate this award to the memory of my father, Rainey Sr., who passed in January at the ripe old age of 92. Dad was my encouragement and instilled in me a very, very tough work ethic. So thank you to my family, and thank you all this evening for this award. Thank you.